Hello.
Hello. You have to follow the COVID protocols. Wherever you are, in the hostel or in the classrooms, that is a must. Otherwise, you will find it difficult to continue the classes. It is said that after this 2 weeks, you will have the offline classes in the lecture class as well as practicals. The timetable I told that I will put it in the WhatsApp group so that you can share the representative WhatsApp group. Then you have to purchase the textbooks and records from here. The 2019 onwards, you will have the textbooks, same textbooks, but the way the teaching is changed. That is why so many records are there. In the initial 2 weeks, you will have the foundation course and at-home classes. Foundation course is a new introduction to the curriculum, foundation course. There are so many things which you need to know during the course. Then at-home, that is at-home means that is full form, attitude, ethics and communication, that is at-home. So you will have the records for both, foundation course record as well as at-home record. So the classes will be taken in the first week and second weeks. Today you have to start the work on the first MBBS course. That is, you had an orientation program today, isn't it? You have to write it on the foundation course book. Orientation, how you like it. You will get the records. When you get the records, you write somewhere in your notebooks. You take a note on all these programs. What happened in the first day? What was the topic described? What about the oath? Like that. You have to write about that. Is it clear? And also your reflections also. What you feel about that. That is the first thing you have to write in the foundation course book. First page. You put a date. There is 14/2/2022 foundation course, orientation program. Orientation, what all things happened and what regarding the first speaker, regarding the second principal's address and like that. You have to write. Then afternoon you will have the hostel allotment, what you felt related to the hostel admission, what the faculties react with you, like that. What all things you feel, you have to write in the, record it in the foundation course book, that is 14. Then 15 onwards, all the classes you have to describe. Each classes you have to do it like that. So that is the record, foundation course record. Record is there for the foundation course. You have to come after the foundation course, you have to complete it and submit, and that will be you have to get it signed from the department. Anatomy, physiology and biochemistry. Is it clear? Foundation course record. Then at-home, actually you have to, you have 40 hours for the at-home. That is 7 topics are there. The topics we will cover it. I will try to cover it within 2 weeks, and a few we will cover it later. At that time you have to write details regarding each topic. The topics will be given to you, that is given in the records, the topics. You have to write the related to your opinion as well as reflections also you have to include at the end of the at-home topics, each topics at-home. So 2 records are over. Now, for anatomy, yes, that is general. At-home book as well as foundation course record. 2 records over. That is general. Then related to anatomy, you will have a logbook on anatomy. So every day after starting of the class, this is the first class on anatomy. So you write the introduction to anatomy on 14th, 11 to 11, whatever the time. So I will, completing the introduction, I will go and the next physiology madam will come here. So you have to write today. So all things you have to take it as a note in your paper or notebook available in your hand. Is there any notebook in your hand or white paper. You have to record it from the first day onwards. And then you will have the logbook that is related to the classes taken. Everything you have to write in the logbook. That you have to submit it, and the records will be entered, the marks will be entered there. Average marks, final internal assessment will be written in the logbook at the end. So, and certified by each department. That is only for the department. Each department will have a logbook. Then, histology records. We have two records, that is histology record and gross anatomy record. Histology, that will be taken in separately, and lecture class as well as practical classes, you have to draw the diagrams and you have to get it certified or signed by the concerned faculty. And at the end, you will have, during the time of practical examination, you will have the marks for each record. So if you are regular in attending, drawing the records or like that. So if you are a regular student, you have to be regular in the records also. And the gross anatomy record, you have to draw cross sections as well as important diagrams of the related to the subject, as well as the embryology diagrams, etc. in the gross anatomy record. That also we will give you the list of the diagrams you have to draw, and you have to keep it in the in a certain place so that we will value it and give it to you. For that also there is mark. Then textbooks, you will have textbooks that we have already given to the office. They might have purchased the books, gross anatomy as well as embryology, osteology books. So you have to buy that and you have to study according to the classes, taking during the regular hours. So you will have lecture classes as well as dissection, and in the first 6 months you will have dissection from 11 to 1, and in the afternoon you will have the histology practicals for us. Saturdays also you will have classes, second Saturday including second Saturday. Then you have to buy 2 books. One, an assignment book, second book, that is a test paper book. So in between you will, we will conduct small examinations, small topics, so that you can secure high marks in that. So an examination book as well as assignment book. The first assignment I am giving to you today, that you have to submit it on 28th. You have to submit the first assignment, cell, mitosis and meiosis. First is cell, the cell. One, that is the first topic, the cell. Second is mitosis and meiosis. So you have to write about the cell. You have studied already in the pre-degree classes very well, the animal cell details with a diagram, and that is the first topic. Second one is the mitosis and meiosis. So you have to submit it on 28 to 2022 on Monday. Then only we will be free. After 25 there will be examination, up to 25 there will be university examination. So at that time we can value the records. In the dissection hall, there is a dress code for you that is already put in the departmental notice board. You have to read that also. In between you have to go near the notice boards and read the instructions. There is an instruction to the students in the notice board, and also dissection hall also there is a notice board. You have to see the notice board also for further directions. So dissection hall every day, all days you will have dissection 11 to 1. So you have to read and come the topics. The must bring Cunningham. You must bring Cunningham's. Cunningham's is a must for the dissection. And also the dissection instruments, that also will be given to you from here. Dissection instruments, forceps, scalpel, details of which you will take in the another class with LCD projections and all. That is you should bring the textbook, then only you can read and proceed with the dissection. In between the faculties are there, we will come and demonstrate to you what you have to proceed, how you have to identify the structures, And for a few days you will find it difficult. Otherwise, after that you will come along with the directions and procedures in the dissection hall. For the histology, there is a histology record. That is microscopic anatomy. And you have to bring the pencils, hematoxylin and diosine pencils. And the pencil, eraser, blade and everything, pencil cutter, everything you have to bring. Don't share the things. In olden days, we used to say you have to share things. Now we are saying don't share things because of the COVID pandemic. So that is the difference. So you have to see the, you will bring all the important things for your need in the practical classes. And in between, you have to see the microscope for the pictures and see the microscope and draw the pictures, so that you will be familiar with the microscopic appearance of the normal tissues. Because when you go on in the third year, you have to see abnormal tissues. At that time, the normal tissues, you should be thorough with the normal microscopic appearance of the tissues. That is the importance of the histology. Normal appearance, microscopic structure of the microscopic anatomy of the tissues and organs. The exam book, I have already told you. You have to buy an examination book. You have to write in the front page. You have to, for anything you buy it, you have to bind it. Keep it neat and clean, any book. Don't keep the records or logbook without binding. Binding, you have, it's a must. Then you have to write your name and roll number. Roll number will be given to you later only. Now you write the name only. This roll number, I don't know, that will be changed in the subsequent course. So, the examination will be, in between we will conduct small, short examinations. And after each portion in the dissection, we will conduct a sporting examination. So, that attendance to the examination is a must. Examination. So you have to prepare this for the examination and write. And in between, after 3 or 4 months, you will have a first sessional examination, second sessional examination, and final sessional examination, 3 examinations. Out of this, we will take 2 examinations and calculate the average of the sessional examinations. Finally, to send to the university, KUHAS. Dress code I have already mentioned. The no jeans or like that chappals are permitted in the dissection hall. You have to come properly dressed. Then lecture classes, regular important topics will be taken in the lecture classes. First you will have the general anatomy and the general embryology classes to start with. And then in between we will take the lecture classes of the concerned important topics in the dissection. During the dissection, suppose an axilla, that is a portion, important portion. We will take the lecture class on axilla and important class on brachial plexus. That will be taken in the, as an important topics will be taken as lecture classes in between the general anatomy as well as general embryology classes. General embryology is actually the formation of a baby. That is the general embryology classes. After finishing each topic, we will describe the systemic embryology. Each systems we will describe. That is how the embryology goes. That you'll understand it after few classes. And in the lecture classes, make it a regular routine to note down the points. Points, or if you are having high speed, you can write, take down the notes also. Though if you take down the points, it is important, that is very important, because at the evening you may forget about that. What all things is taught in the lecture class in the evening. By the time you are hearing the class for the first time. So evening you go home and see the points and see that by that time you will forget that points and everything. You have to refer to the textbooks and study. And you can keep a note on that, and you have to write the logbook also. Every day you have to write logbook. In between, we will ask you to submit the logbook. At that time you have to submit it, so we will get signed and get correct. If there is any wrong entry, you will correct it and give it back. So that every day you have to write the logbook. there is a thing introduced in the new curriculum is the professionalism. Professionalism. That means professional. That is a word meaning. It is professional. That is a regularity in the academics and activities. That is a professionalism. So that professionalism carries marks. So if you are a regular student, come to all classes, attendance, 100% attendance, you will get 6 marks. Finally, out of 26 marks are for the attendance. Then, if you are a regular student, come to all classes, you are plus point, isn't it? Then, you will always submit the records regularly, get it signed by the faculties regularly, then a plus 2 marks. So then, logbook submission, that is also regular submission. So suppose you are not submitting, we are asking repeatedly, why don't you submit? Then come and submit. So that you will carry a minus mark. Is it? Do you understand? Like that. So records, when we see in the examination that records are not signed by the faculty, then that is a negative point. You will get -1, minus point, isn't it? So like that, we will get negative marks. Mark will be reduced. Out of 20, these are the things. And seminar, regular attendance in seminar. Somebody, we are posting seminar, topics for the seminar. That particular student is absent on that particular day. He is not getting that marks for the seminar. They will not get the marks for the seminar. So that way, the professionalism counts that. Regular attendance in the classes, regular submission of the records and logbooks, regular attendance in the examination, and regular attendance in the classes, everything counts in the professionalism. But the day 1 onwards, today onwards, your attendance counts. So that is so today I am going to take the attendance. So you will get marks for that. There is 20 marks for professionalism in the first year examination. So that we have to forward it to university. It is a must. You should get 50% for the, even if you are absent in 1 class or 2 class, or you are not well in that class, that doesn't matter. But if you are okay, you have to attend the classes regularly, you have to study regularly. From the today onwards, you have to study. So at the end, you have to study the whole portions at the first MBBS. At the final MBBS, you have to study the whole thing. For the PG entrance, you have to study the whole subjects. And after that, you have to go for PG entrance, you have to study the whole MBBS topics. So that way, when you study the subject, you have to study regularly, and that is what is known as punctuality, regular study. Punctuality, be punctual in the studies as well as in the profession. So punctuality is a must for our profession. So another thing is working hard. Now I say that anatomy class is taken. You are going studying in the evening. So first study, you cannot remember the things. So you have to study again. If you can't remember after 2 or 3 times, you study 5 times. If you can't remember 10 times, 20 times, or 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, all that time, like that you have to study. Then only you can remember the subjects, all the subjects, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. If you find it difficult for one subject, if you are finding anatomy very difficult, or physiology very difficult, or biochemistry very difficult, you allot more time for that. Okay. So you have to study regularly. You may not get time to finish the whole topics on that day. In between you will get holidays, and after the even in the after study regular teaching hours, you can study. That way you can prepare well from the starting onwards. So you may think that, oh, I am not good at studies, so I feel depressed. So don't get depressed that related to the studies. So what you have to do is continuously work. That your work means study. Study regularly. regularly. How many times? Till you remember things. The things you have to study. How many times? 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, or 1 lakh times, 1 million times, like that you have to study. Then only you can remember the topics, so that in the examination you have to write it in the answer sheets. Theory as well as practical is there. So both examination you have to perform. That is the agenda for this year. So after that, when you go to the third year, there will be discussions. At that time, the teachers will ask you the anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. At that time, you have to answer the questions. So if you can't answer, evening you will go and study that topics and come. So there is a repetition. Like that, repeatedly studying, that make you confident and equipped with your final academic career. So that is it. So I have mentioned related to the so many things I have mentioned. You may get confused regarding the foundation course at home book, gross anatomy record, histology record, logbook and textbooks, as well as the other things also. I have exam book and assignment book. Assignment, on 28th you have to submit the cell, mitosis and meiosis. Cell is one topic, mitosis and meiosis second topic.